Social media isn't that bad if you think about it. It gives you an opportunity to relax, unwind, and connect with other people, right? The problem though starts if you take a look at average screen time. The average screen time for adult person worldwide is more than 6 hours per day. And it's even more, about 7 for the US. So we just need to control and decrease our screen time to as minimum as possible. Well, at least that's what I thought. So I decided to onboard an experiment and decrease my screen time to minimum in 14 days. And boy oh boy, I did not know that it will not work out for me. On a day one, I used the gray screen, so everything just went gray. You can just do it via settings on your iPhone. No app is needed for this one. And I ended up with quite a good results. I didn't open any of the social media, to be frank, because it's not as interesting to open social media on your gray screen. Then from the days second, third, and fourth, I've started testing some apps. Some of those apps help you just to block all of the social media. So you choose which social media apps you want to block, and then app just tells you, hey, you blocked this app, so you cannot use your Instagram anymore. And it also kind of worked for me. I did get annoyed with some of the apps because they would show me some message like breathe in and then we will give you access to your app. And I didn't really felt comfortable without not being in control of my own app, usage. But still, it was kind of a fine. Every single day, my screen time would decrease, and every single time usage of a social media would decrease until the day number 6. Day number 6 and the whole of the second week of the experiment, something went really wrong because I saw an enormous spike in my screen time. I couldn't control myself anymore, and even if I wanted, I would delete a blocking app. I ended up doom scrolling and overthinking and doom scrolling again, and the more I scrolled, the more I wanted to scroll. And the whole second week of the experiment, my screen time was actually much longer than the one I had before the experiment. But there is one thing I didn't tell you. I wasn't alone doing this experiment. I had Valeria doing the same experiment every single day as I did. The difference is Valeria is working on her startup in stealth, and her startup is essentially the future way of interacting with phones for humans. Valeria, I know you're working on discovering on new ways for the people to interact with their phones and overall to control our screen time. So I'm really, really thankful for you to join in this experiment with me. How was the experiment for you?
Okay, we are using our social media and our phones so much in our lives that we have to somehow create a better intentional relationship with it. And when you offered to join the experiment, I was like, yes, I think it's going to be a really nice idea to test it out, to see what are the other ways, like what are the different ways how we can actually change this behavior and how we can make it work for us and see and then better understand if we're actually addicted or not.
So overall, if you compare first week to second or first days to last weeks of the experiment, did you see a reduction of your screen time?
I would say it got reduced by 1 hour approximately. Some of the days it went above what is the average for me, and some days it decreased twice as for what is average for me.
Which apps or methods worked best for you?
Screen Zen was one of the ways that worked out a lot for me. It was day 6. Day 8 was Opal, which was a full blockage. And another amazing day that worked out so well that my screen time was I think 3 hours or something, as well as day 6, was day 12, when I was just happy in life.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. For me, the experiment didn't go as well. For me, the situation actually got worse. Starting from the day 6, my screen time increased and the usage of social media increased almost as twice as before the experiment on the day 0.
Why do you think that happened?
I think I know the answer to this, because starting from the day 6, I was traveling for work and I was really, really busy and I felt really tired. And instead of having a proper rest, I went on my phone and just started doom scrolling. And even though I had blockage, like I also used Opal, I think, on that day, I would just go ahead and put break. And this also happened on the second day because I didn't get a proper rest on that day. Again, I just turned off the blockage. And another day and another. And I ended up just going into this rabbit hole of scrolling and using my phone as a distraction for rest,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure if this works. Is there some science behind it?
Yeah, one of the big problems with phone and social media is that the algorithm makes you, in the moment when you feel bad, the
Yeah.
algorithm is using this against you. In like mid 20th century, there was a research that happened by Skinner, and they tested out it on pigeons. So basically, what happened was that in order for the pigeon to get some food, they had to press the button. But then, so they were pressing the button, and then logically there was a reward coming in the food. But then they did they changed the experiment and made it a bit more cruel. They made the button unpredictable. So that sometimes, whenever the pigeon presses the button, sometimes the food will arrive, sometimes it would not arrive. So then, and sometimes it would also bring the double portion. So the pigeon never knew which outcome would he get. So in this way, they just got like frantically trying to press the lever all the time. So in this way, whenever you feel that, for example, you're extremely, extremely tired and the only thing that you want to do is actually rest, but then, your brain thinks, okay, some days, some moments when I was using social media, I was getting this rest because I would say for sure the internet is so big in the amount of information. There is a lot of great content there.
Yeah.
But in the most times, the only thing that is actually provided to us, and there's also lots of research about that whenever we are already entering with anxiety, or whenever we're not entering with any anxiety, we get the anxiety from social media. And it's literally a big moment of realization for us that as we are not so intentional in the moment of rest, and the only thing that we want is to just take some rest, our brain thinks of these good moments when social media was good for us, and it presses the lever, and it doesn't know what algorithm is going to give. That's why the algorithm is super unpredictable. So sometimes we're going to have something good, sometimes we're going to have more things that would just keep us scrolling, 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 and would never create this rest for us. I don't know if you heard about this, another experiment that was with rats, and it's called a rat park. So basically, there was lots of research about the rats are being addicted to morphine. And one of the things that one of the I think Alexander is the name of the scientist that studied this. He saw that before that the rats were already always in the cage, and then further on they were for sure choosing to drink water with morphine, because why would they not if they're just trapped in the cage? But then he was like, okay, let's create a rat park where they have a life to live. They have friends, mates. They are having lots of different things around their life that they can choose to live.
Yeah,
So
like a
then,
correction. Okay.
exactly. So that then, whenever they were offered to drink water with morphine or just pure water, they were not drinking water with morphine anymore. To drink normal water. And so it shows that the environment that you're living in is also shaping you. So in this way, all the things that we're talking about in social media and how it's designed, that's the environment that we're living in. This is our cage where it's literally produced for us and created for us in order to just start pressing the levers, start choosing the water with morphine because it seems to be better. While whenever, and this is based on the research, like on the experiment that we had, when I was extremely happy in my life, I just didn't want to literally use my phone at all because my life was so full of things. And this is just me being a rat in a
Yeah.
cage that is really full of life.
So are you saying that in the experiment with the rats, social interactions, or like, I don't know, the society of rats, sorry, but that is built for them, was a better alternative to the addiction of water morphine?
Yes, exactly. So basically, what happened is that as you are fulfilled with things that you do in your life, for example, you have a job that you love, you are in a happy relationship with yourself, happy relationship with other human beings, and you are doing the thing that you love, you stop seeking things that give short dopamine hits. And Instagram, social media overall, is about short dopamine. We're talking about here the short form content that provides us with this quick dopamine hit that in the end actually further on decreases the baseline for us. So that then whenever we are seeking, so let's say I'm more than sure that you were also trying to different ways how to increase dopamine in real life. For example, let's say a workout increases dopamine for so much longer.
As you were saying this, I realized that on that day when I told you I had a spike because I was so tired, I was traveling for work, so I didn't have access to my normal workout routine. So I actually skipped my workouts for 3 days. And I even remember having a message from my PT. She was asking, "Did you do the workout I sent you?" Because she literally sent to me the workout I can do even in my hotel room. And I skipped that one. So again, my brain probably also had a shortage of a dopamine. I didn't have a workout. I was working really hard. I was overworking. And I just seeked for the easiest way to get the dopamine, and I couldn't resist it.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
I'm a
That
rat. I'm a rat, but like the one that was the red one who went for the morphine water, unfortunately.
it's normal. Like, come on, the way things are designed currently for us.
I think for me, my biggest learning out of all the 14 days of the experiment was that I'm the most vulnerable to doom scrolling when I'm tired, when I'm unhappy, and when in reality I just need physical and psychological rest. It's the easiest time for me to pick up my phone and just, start scrolling. And it's really hard to put it down as soon as I picked it up. Can you share with me what was your biggest learning or an eye-opening for yourself throughout the experiment?
Biggest learning is that you can gain control, but you for sure need to be intentional with clear outcomes for you that you want and clear reasoning why it's important for you to actually do it.
That's a very good learning. And you said before that apps work for you to block out your screen time. As I said, for me, I personally didn't feel that app somehow added to it. I was almost annoyed by the fact that app was trying to control me. So, and if I look at the stats, actually, the first and second day, when we were trying to do the gray screen, so everything went gray and it was awful, you couldn't watch any short form content at all, worked the best for me. Because I felt like I can still open social media, it's just a matter of me not wanting to look at that social media. Is there any explanation, like, is there any logic at all behind trying to block out when in reality you can just delete the app? Like, why do we need to block it?
So in 2023, there was research about how there is an impact of social media use interventions on our mental health. And basically what they did is there was a systematic review of lots of different randomized controlled trials testing different ways how to change the problematic use of social media. So they were testing full abstinence. So basically you fully block it, or daytime limits, and then there was also a mindfulness based intervention. And basically with that, they said that interventions that simply restrict the social media use or impose a full abstinence, they may not have as much benefit for the mental well-being as much as therapy-based interventions. And I understood that, simply words, basically, if you block it fully for yourself, it doesn't help you to feel better. You don't feel better. You feel that you are being controlled. Why the heck some kind of app is telling you what to do, and you don't feel that you are choosing, and you don't feel the freedom that you have this possibility to control it. And basically, the programs that were teaching cognitively and behavioral strategies on how you can actually decrease like the use of social media and create a healthier engagement, they were much more effective for to improve your long-term well-being. That will improve how you're overall using social media. And in our mind just works this way that whenever we restrict something, that's the reason why we're craving it even more.
The happier you are in your life, what you're saying is like the less likely you will be doom scrolling.
Yes, the more tired you are, you're gonna start using your phone more. The more happy you are and more fulfilled you are in your life, you're gonna not want to use it overall because you're so fulfilled.
What is the solution? Obviously, with everything going on in the world, I don't think we're getting any happier. I think not at all. What do we do? What is the solution?
The things that worked out for me is something that I'm now building as well. And it's approach where you have to give a clear and legit reasoning whenever you want to enter social media. And for now, it works with AI. Further on, I believe there will be also an addition where you have to ask your friends and you have to give a legit reasoning to your friends that this is exactly what you need to do. Like that you need to open like your social media for 5 minutes, for example, to say. And by creating this friction and by blocking your social media, and then by asking you what is actual reason why you need to do this, and it will bring you back into the present moment. Because when it asks you why do you need it right now, and you're not actually able to give a legit reasoning because you just want to doom scroll because you're tired, it is going to provide you with different techniques on how to bring yourself back and how to decrease your anxiety that you're feeling currently.
If your framework is based on a mindfulness, maybe there is a way for us as humans just to practice more mindfulness, even without having blockage on our phones. For someone who never heard of it, can you share what is mindfulness and how do you actually practice it?
So mindfulness is a lot of different practices that can be about grounding yourself. It's a connection of breath work. I would add yoga into that because it's a moment when you're more in touch with yourself. It's different techniques about like what are the things, for example, what you see in front of you, what do you smell, what do you hear currently, what do you feel. I would say I would put journaling into the part of mindfulness as well. And these are small rituals
Yeah.
that can ground you back into the real moment.
What you're saying is very, very similar to what I've read in one of the books recently. So I've read the book The Brain at Rest. It's by Dr. Joseph Jebelli, and he writes about this thing, he calls default mode network, and that's like a network that your brain immediately puts itself into, and that actually our brain needs for us to function as humans when you do nothing. And the whole book is him explaining the need for human beings of the 21st century to be bored and to do nothing. So one of his recommendations is like, go to the forest for 20 minutes at least a day and do nothing. Like, try to think about nothing. Try to smell nothing. Just try to put yourself into this default mode network, because that's the time for your brain to connect all the rest of the dots. Are there any practical advices you would advise to someone who is struggling to reduce their screen time?
One of the things that I read recently about this one research that was done in Italy, and if you know, a lot of Italian couples or like a lot of people in Italy after they have a dinner or something like this, they have passeggiata, if I'm not mistaken about the name of it, when they just walk after
Oh,
the dinner.
really? I didn't know
And
that. No.
you didn't know about this?
Oh, no.
This is the best thing ever, because one of the things they do is they are not using their phones. They're walking with their partner or with their friend, and as they're not using their phones, and this is also another research that whenever your phone is in the presence of yours, your brain is disconnected. For example, let's say if you're having a dinner with someone and your phone is on the table, then there you are less connected to the conversation, and the brain connection that is happening between you and the other person is much less than if your phone was in your bag or somewhere outside. And what is happening during passeggiata is that people are just talking and they're just walking next to each other. And there was also another research around that if you are with someone walking next to them and you're not using your phone, the connection between them is being created much more. But you need to not walk for like 5-10 minutes, but you need to walk. It starts happening after around 20 minutes of walking together. Your brains start syncing together.
Wow.
This is your brain waves. This is incredible. One of the other things that I would recommend you to do, if you want to just live a bit happier. I don't know how many people. I just leave it in the comments if you're also doing this. But I'm curious if you ever done this, Angela. Do you ever people watch?
No, not so much. No, I don't. I don't have time for this. Ashamed to say, but I would love to. But yeah.
That's a beautiful part that just helps you to zone out. So one of the rituals that I created for myself, that's a way for me to connect with myself more, is I would go on the weekend or on, if possible, on a weekday. I would go to one of my favorite coffee places. In most cases, it's like real nice specialty coffee place and real nice design, lots of cute people coming in, like lots of fashionable people coming in. And I just journal. I mostly leave my phone in my bag. I don't try not to use my social media. And what happens is just people watch. It sounds creepy, but you don't like you're just watching people. And in this way, one of the things that is actually developing is your emotional intelligence is developing through this because you are in your observing mode. So it's kind of like when you're
So
walking.
default mode again. Like all right, okay.
When you're walking and you're just noticing things, and you just like you just let yourself explore things, you just let yourself feel things, and in that way you are just seeing how people interact.
How do you see the year of 2030? Are there any, like, I don't know, special apps on my phone, blogs? How do I interact with social media? Do I still doom scroll in 2030?
I believe that in 2030, in 4 years, you will actually be using human operation system, and that is something that I'm building currently that will actually help you. You will be living a happy life, but this is going to be your conscious decision to do this because you're going to be a part of the movement that is choosing to actually live a happy life.
Right, but it sounds like you're saying a part of the movement.
Yes.
So, as in any cyber, I don't know, cyberpunk movie, it's not going to be all of the population, right?
Yeah.
Because I personally think that the trend is quite negative. I don't know what will happen in the future, obviously, but with growing AI influence in social media, I think we will have to have a lot of effort to be in the movement you're mentioning.
Yes.
So not to be in that loop of being fed all the information through the social media. How can you change that on a practical way? Is there like an app or what exactly the project is about?
Yeah, so the project is an ecosystem of things. So it starts with Mindful, which is a currently web extension, and the app is in the building where you are, in order for you to get into social media, they're blocked, and then you have to give intentional, legit reasoning so that you bring yourself back and you pause for a second and you think about what is actual reason why I want to enter there. And then if you're not having the legit reasoning, it gives you things to ground yourself in the present moment and things to do in real life that bring you back to who you are. The last layer around it is whenever you are done with living in the digital world, it offers you things to do in real life so that you connect with yourself more. And it's also connected with lots of different physical spaces that are that you're not going to be able to use a phone there so that you can do things and connect with yourself more. And this whole thing is going to be an operational system that is going to be on your phone. So it's not that the system is going to be, it's going to be just one app that will try to change the system. We're changing the whole system so that every interaction with your phone is now conscious and intentional.
Is there a way to test it if someone wants to experiment with it now?
Currently, we are having a waitlist for beta users. So I will share the link down there and feel free to join in.
So thankful for you, not for this interview only, but also for the whole 14 days of staying in touch with me, sharing all of your insights, being just a great companion to do this type of the experiment. And for you folks, if it's hard for you to do this alone, it can be. Just find another friend who might be interested, or, I don't know, bet on the screen time you have. Probably what we could have done as well.
I believe it was incredible to see how, even though we're facing the similar problem, and how we are also seeing it from different perspectives on how we can fix it or how we cannot fix it. So guys, for sure, try it out, get a friend. Happy to do it with you guys as well, because we're just testing it out all the time and trying to reduce screen time and trying to live and create a life that is fulfilling. So thank you so much for the invitation. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mwah.
There was another thing I didn't share with you during this interview. One of the days when I was using one of the apps, the app actually showed me, based on my screen time in my phone, how much time throughout my lifespan I would spend on my phone. For me, it's 26 years of my life that I would spend on my phone. It's an average of 136 days per year that I spend literally looking at my phone. It's shocking, and it got me thinking that when I'm personally tired, the best thing I can do to me when I want to doom scroll for hours is actually to put my phone down and to go outside, to go and reconnect with my friends, loved ones, to regain those 136 days per year that I will spend just like this. So the only one advice and the only one learning that I want to share across this video is we need to regain control. It's hard not to doom scroll. It's hard to reduce your screen time. I couldn't do it. I failed at reducing my screen time. But something that I learned throughout this experience is I need to learn how to rest. I need to learn everything that is offline again from scratch. One of the books that helped me is actually The Brain at Rest, the one that I mentioned by Dr. Jebelli. So I think the next thing I will do, I will read it again, because there is no better way on how to regain your 20 years of life is to keep exploring everything outside of your phone. My question to you, please write in the comments what is your current screen time. On board an experiment if you want to, or if not, just use your free will if you can. I couldn't, to control your screen time. I'm really curious to know, am I the only one person who failed? Or are there many people or more people out there who face similar problems? Let's connect. Do let me know in the comments what you think. And what is your screen time? Did you try to limit? How did it go? What worked for you? Because I'm kind of anxious now, just knowing at the moment I don't have control. So let this video officially be your very first step to regain time you spent on the screen time.